Oh,
hi, everybody. We are excited to have you today. Welcome to our Cerkl U season premiere, where we get to share some really exciting news on our upcoming user improvements. So we will hop in. Thanks, Sammy. Awesome. All right. So again, as you know, this is season 2 premiere of Cerkl U new user interface improvements. So we'll get started with just some housekeeping items. Number one, if you have a question, please enter the question in the pane box. There's a little example right here on the right side of your screen, so don't be shy. We love questions. We want this to be very valuable for you guys.
Make them challenging.
Please. I'll give them all to Sam. Number two, this is recorded, so we will be sending you a link, so don't feel like you have to be jotting down some notes. We'll send you a link and you can share with your team as well. If you have any technical difficulties, please feel free to give us a ring. We have people standing by. The number is on your screen. And lastly, of course, keep the conversation going. You can tag us at Cerkl on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So, of course, always follow us. We love to hear from you guys and see you on other social accounts as well. Alrighty, so most of you probably know who I am. I am Maddie Riemann. I am the Director of Customer Success here at Cerkl. And I have been working with a lot of you to help improve your stats, really help you understand the functionality of the platform, and answer your questions. But today I'm excited because we have one of my favorite people here at Cerkl, and someone I've worked with for a really long time. We have Sam Huber, who is our new lead product designer, and it's exciting to bring him in today because we get to show you how we are kind of flipping the switch here, making sure that the platform is focused on you, on how you use it. And Sam is one of the newest people on the team to really lead that for us. So I'll let Sam kind of give you a little bit of background.
Yeah. So this is exciting. I feel like I finally made it because when we used to do webinars back in the day, I was behind the screen doing technical stuff, and now I'm like on camera. So I feel like I'm Jimmy Fallon.
You got the hair.
Yeah. So anyways, I have been with Cerkl for over 3 years now. I started in July of 2015 as an intern. It was a part of a program through my university, and I was hired as a graphic designer. And through that process, learning in that first semester and then the rest of my college career, I started to focus a lot more on interaction design and thinking about products, specifically software. So I took this track and I ran with it, and I was in marketing, but now I've kind of evolved into this tech role where it's more front-end development, and I'm working with the tech team to make this product amazing. It already is amazing.
But more user friendly and more exciting for you guys. So that's why Sam and I work hand in hand, because I get to work with all the amazing people and all of our amazing clients. I hear the feedback on our calls or on our little chatbot questions. So I get to feed that to Sam, and then Sam gets to enhance the product.
Yeah, I'm like the middleman between customers and the product. So
yeah, it's exciting stuff. So we will hop in. Just to let you know, one of the things that we really focus on here at Cerkl is how we can always be saving you time and providing you value. So just to quickly refresh your memory, since it's been a few months since our last Cerkl U webinar, we wanted to take you through some of the ways in which we do that. So number one, we have our entire help desk article. It's a huge database of over 200 articles, and that's where, sorry, I think we're trying to share a screen here. There we go. That's where you're going to be able to search and use keywords to answer your questions. So you can type this into the help desk article archive, and you'll be able to show a myriad of different articles giving you the instructions to different features or questions that have been frequently asked.
And they've made sure that everything is covered.
Yeah, over 200 articles. And they're constantly being updated too. That's the other thing. So, as you see Sam show you what we have today, some of the upcoming roadmaps within the tech itself, you're going to notice that we're changing things quite often. So our main goal is to make sure all these are updated for you on the spot so you always have access. Number two is, actually, let's go back to the help desk real quick. As you'll see in the bottom of every right-hand corner of Cerkl.com pages, you'll see a little chat bot. don't forget that that's our #1 way to communicate with us. It's easy for us to answer your questions there. You have straight access to our help desk archive as well, and we like to get those answers for you using the chatbot within the first 5 minutes. So don't be shy to use that as well. Few other things that we have are our product videos. So anytime we release a major product, we're going to come up with a recorded video that'll walk you through how to use the new product and our use cases and best practices. So keep an eye out for those. Those will also be included in some of those help desk articles. And then lastly, we have our Cerkl is what we call our Cerkl, but it's our Cerkl roundup where we suggest all of our clients or our partners subscribe to the Cerkl. You'll get a newsletter every 2 weeks with best practices, any feature updates, any upcoming webinars like this one, and just hear about some of the fun things that the Cerkl team's doing. So don't be shy. Please visit our Cerkl content archive page where you can subscribe yourself, or just send us a note through the chatbot, and we will be sure to get you subscribed.
And that's also good because you get the Cerkl experience from the other side.
Yeah.
You're only seeing the admin portion, but if you want to get the experience of what your subscribers are going to see, this is the best way to do that.
Absolutely. All right. So let's head down to the product roadmap. Sam, I'll kind of let you kick this one off since you are the keeper of all the goods here.
Yeah. So first on the agenda is this new advanced content creator. It's going to be all in one place, and it's going to be a lot easier to use and easier to understand what pieces are interacting with each other to produce the final piece of content. So we'll actually do a sneak peek of that today. Next up, we are looking at Audience Manager. This is going to get the new UI skin. It's going to look like the rest of the site, and it's going to have a lot more functionality, a lot more usable functionality, is searching for subscribers, unsubscribes, taking actions, taking bulk actions. It's all going to be there, and it's going to be awesome. After that, we're going to look at settings and do a reorganization, kind of restructure the hierarchy there, make it a little more accessible, easy to find things that you need to change. And then beyond that, I think this is the most exciting and the biggest project coming up in our future. It's the user dashboard. So this is going to be a completely new feature on the product, and it's going to be combining your organizational goals, your insights, and other Cerkl inputs that you have, and it's going to provide suggestions based on the intelligence that we have on the back end on how you can improve what you're doing, how you're communicating with your audience, and it's also going to just basically be a new employee on your team.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were kind of hoping for when we first imagined this piece of the user dashboard, is how can we be an extension of your team. I hear a lot on the phone that we love having those conversations because we can help you think through some things or think through a new campaign and give you suggestions. So how do we take that and amplify and multiply it for everyone all the time? So that's really what we're trying to do with the new user dashboard.
So you basically have Maddie at your disposal 100% of the time.
Perfect, I can't wait. And then the last, but not least, is the site navigation. So we're going to, after reworking all of these different pieces of the platform, we're going to really figure out how to simplify the entire site navigation, make things easier to find, less clicks is more, all those types of things. So.
Yep, everything will be in one place, and it'll be easier. You'll know where you are on the platform. All right, let's get into content creator.
Let's go. So this is exciting. This is something that Sam and the rest of the team have been working on for a while now, and how to enhance the way in which you generate content within your Cerkl. So I'll let Sam take it away. And this is a sneak peek, by the way. We're hoping this will be out in the next few weeks. You, of course, will hear some more updates, but it's always nice to kind of show you guys ahead of time and make sure that you understand that this is something that we are doing for you. So as you see this, if you have suggestions or feedback, we want to know. Again, that's why we're doing this. Is why we want to bring Sam in, is to empower you, our clients, our partners, to really provide us feedback, because we're building this for you. So.
Yeah. And I just want to go over real quick. I'm not an artist. You're not going to offend me by saying something isn't right or something doesn't look good or it doesn't work the way you think it should work.
It's pretty good though, I'll tell you.
So don't be afraid to hurt my feelings. If something stands out, say it. We want to make this the best possible product. And honestly, I'm not the one using it, you're the one using it, so we want to hear your feedback. So we're going to go in here and create a story. This is your first look at the new UI. A lot more streamlined, no more having to open and close those tabs. A lot easier to scroll through. So let's go through and make a fake story. All right, so you can choose an author. If you didn't know that, you can turn show authors on in the settings, and it will give you all of your admins that are also listed as authors available so that they show up on the actual story page. Let's add a title. What are we going to talk about?
Our new move. So we just moved to Blue Ash in our new office, so we're pretty excited about that. So now let's have this article be about our new move to Blue Ash. We're actually broadcasting live from our Blue Ash office, so it's pretty exciting.
All right, and then we are also introducing a new editor. We're hoping that this one is a lot easier to use and it provides you with more options on how to create the actual content. So let's say...
Explain to me what an editor means.
So the editor is, think Microsoft Word. It's the actions that you can do, or the formatting, basically the formatting of what you're creating and how it's going to show up on the story page.
Gotcha. So it's going to be more flexible now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
I'd like to hear that.
Learning about editors. And you can still do all the stuff. You can make things bold. You can make them link, add URL.
So we're not missing any functionality that we have today. We're just adding to it or enhancing it, right?
Yes.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right, and then we are going to go down here to summary. So the summary is going to be displayed both in the newsletter and on the story page as subtext, as you know. And we have a nice 250 character limit. I love character limits as a designer.
He does, which makes it hard for me when I'm giving him the description text for any new feature. But it's also great because then that gives us, a standard practice moving forward. Keeping in mind also the summary, if you don't use the summary box within the content creator, we're just going to grab the first 250 characters from the body text of your article. So keep that in mind. You don't have to have a summary, but if you want to have the ability to change that text within the newsletter, you can do so there.
Now the fun part, images. So we have been working on this drag and drop. That's what all the cool kids are using.
I'm so excited about this.
So you have three options. You can either drag and drop. You can choose an image from your computer, or you can enter an image URL. Pro tip, when using the image URL, you don't want to take the URL from the website itself, but you want to right-click on the image and select the
from
image.
The drop-down, right? Gotcha. Okay. Does that make it like a more...
Yeah. Well, sometimes the site URL doesn't have the right information to grab the image, so you want to go straight to the source and find it.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Okay, for this case, let's just do it old-fashioned. Go to the desktop. Got this nice picture of our Cerkl family with our co-founder.
An oldie but goodie. And our old office.
Shout out to Xavier, Center for Innovation. All right, cool. If you want to edit that, you can click on that, change it however you want. Otherwise, cancel it. It's right there. All right, publish dates. We get some questions about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we wanted to try and minimize the effort that you have to put in to do this. So publish date is the date that this is going to be live on your Cerkl. You can change the date and time all in the same box. Two ways to do that. You can either do it by typing, which is fun, and say you make a mistake. It's auto formatted for you.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
So you can't, unless you type like Wednesday.
You kind of make mistakes, but
yeah, you can.
You got it built in to help them out a little bit.
And cool. By the way, the default for the publish date is the current time that you open the the post story basically, and then the expiration is going to be set to your organizational default that you set in your settings. Yeah. So awesome. I think ours is what, like 42 days, 6 weeks.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Sure.
We can do math.
The other way,
build software, we don't do math.
The other way to do that is go in here in this little calendar widget, and you can select Spiral Christmas. And then you can click on the clock down here.
So you can change the time.
Change the
time. Oh, that's nice and clean. I like that.
Let's say you want it to be 1:45 and you don't want to click through like that. You can click on the number and just click on the 5-minute mark. So, and speaking of clearing up confusion, we get a lot of questions on what evergreen means. And so that means that your content will never expire. Can you give a use case of when they would use this?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say you create an article that is just a good general article about your organization or the year. You might just want to make sure that that piece of content doesn't expire. And then another piece would be something that your president or the organizational chair of your company wants to write an article, so then every time a new person is included in your audience, so a new subscriber is added, they will have the opportunity to see that new article. Now, anyone else who's already seen it won't see it. They've already clicked on it, they've already engaged with it. It's not going to show up in the newsletter again. But this is really to allow any relevant articles for any new subscribers to still receive relevant articles throughout their time field. So,
yeah, and that's one of those like pro tips, best practice kind of thing that you can get at any of those help desk articles.
Absolutely. Good plug.
All right, categories. So this is the engine behind our software, basically. It's how it works. It still does auto tagging. Say we copy and paste it from a Word document, it'll still grab what it thinks is the appropriate tags for that story.
Okay.
Otherwise, these are all your organizational categories, and say goodbye to the toggles.
Okay.
I've heard some people don't like those. So it's as simple as going through. So we're talking about moving to Blue Ash. So that's probably company events, company news.
Customer success.
Sure.
What are the other ones? I can't see those down there.
Engagement. Digital marketing.
Perfect.
All right. So that is all of the main content. That's all the stuff that you need to like create content in Cerkl. Now you may be asking, oh, where are all the other settings, the posting priorities?
Yeah, top story, pinning.
So we found that those aren't used in every story or in the majority of stories. So we wanted to kind of not hide, but put that behind the scenes so it's not any more information to take in. So they are put in this handy additional distribution settings menu, and you can find things like posting priorities, segments, and other additional settings. So raise your hand. I know we can't see you. We'll raise our hands if you have ever been confused by our posting priorities. I'm talking like top story, required, pin. I don't even remember what the other.
Required, yeah. So all those, they are the way that we have them worded today. Have been features we built onto other features. So we really took a pause when we were starting this project, and it came to the posting priorities and said, all right, we got to make this more easy to understand and more plain English, to be honest with you.
You don't have good intentions and purpose to them, but if you don't know why have them? Exactly. So we made this as simple as it could be. It's basically like writing a sentence. So I want this content to be sent. So Cerkl recommends that you send it based on your audience interests. So if Maddie is interested in customer success and the article that we're writing is about technology, she's probably not going to get that. Right. And that's the purpose of our platform, is to give people what they want to see and what they want to read.
And keep in mind, the platform itself is running off of over 2 billion tags. So no one article is just going to have one tag. So we're going to have we already have a weighted system on the back end to make sure that we're providing the analytics to drive the content to each person.
Yeah, that was a umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just play with this though. So let's say I want this content, this is very important. So I want it to be sent to everyone as their first story so that they get it and it's at the top of their newsletter. And I want them to see it a lot. So we're gonna make it multiple times. And then you can set a date. So
how long do you want them to see this multiple times as the first story? Gotcha.
Yeah, so let's say we'll make it, let's go back to Christmas.
A long time. Lots of newsletters.
It's very important.
Very, very important.
Okay, so what this is saying, it literally is saying it. I want this content to be sent to everyone as their first story, multiple times until Christmas.
Okay. Yeah, that's much more straightforward than I think what we have today.
Yeah. So if you have any questions on that, let us know. Give us feedback. Does that make it easier? So moving down into segments, this gives you a list of all the segments that you've set up, and it is as simple as clicking and adding segments.
Superfans, I like superfans.
We have all our superfans watching right now. Okay, and then let's say you have like 1,000 segments. You can just search right here, and it comes up, and you can add it.
Oh, cool. Much easier.
Okay, and so segments work pretty much like categories. Another pro tip, if you want to go.
The segments?
Yeah, how that actually works on the back end.
Yeah, great question. So segments are going to differ from categories because these are going to be buckets of people that you are going to manually add them to. Whether this is coming from your CRM, like Salesforce or PeopleSoft, you might already have these people into defined buckets. We can pull that through from your CRM through integration, or you can upload them into Cerkl, into those segments themselves. And this is going to allow you to direct specific pieces of content to them and make it restricted to them only. And it also allows you to collect data on the insights portion of our platform to kind of see how is this segment performing versus this segment, or what's the engagement of this segment versus this segment, and so forth.
Yeah, and let's say that it's something that's very specific to these segments, then you can restrict that and it will only send to those people. But if that's turned off, then it just acts as the weight.
I'll also add real quick that any of your subscribers who are included in a segment, they have to manually be taken out of the segment. So that's the big differing piece between segments and categories. Here under your categories, these are going to be topics that your audience can fall in and out of based on their implicit or explicit interests. So they should be falling in and out of those things. I might not be interested in customer success for the rest of my life. I might start, let's hope you do. I think so. I think I'm pretty good. But maybe down the road, I start to become more interested in growth and analytics and usability. So those types of things just add on to my profile within Cerkl when I'm clicking and engaging. So I can fall in and out of the categories, whereas segments are going to be groupings of your audience that you manually add them to or we're feeding in from your CRM. So those are more structured buckets, and those you want to keep like more of demographic information. So like locations with the Cincinnati office or the Dallas office or a department of your company. So let's say the nursing staff or something of that nature. So
yeah, it's exciting. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then the other settings down here, allow comments shown aptly. That's just based on your defaults that you set in settings, but they're still there if you want to turn them on and off or a specific article. You want people to comment because people say like, "Wow, blue light, that's awesome."
All right. Everything else is pretty normal, right? So you just publish like you normally do, or save as a draft.
Yeah. Let's look at the preview real quick though. Make sure I got everything. So the preview is new as well. We've added a feature to that. So when you preview it, it's going to load in as what the subscribers will see on the story page, which that wasn't a feature before. It would just show you what it was in the newsletter. But when the user clicks on it, what does it look like to them? And a lot of people would have to like publish a story, go to Content Archive, open it, like, oh, I don't like how it looks, and then come back out. So it's right here for you. You can see it as how it will literally be produced on your story page. And then we got this handy button slider up here that you can still see what it looks like in your newsletter.
Yay, that's a big one. I know a lot of people are interested in seeing what that looks like.
Yeah, so you can see the interaction between the pieces. Like how, like all the touch points basically with your audience.
Awesome.
Right. So still have save as draft. That'll go to your drafts. Or if we want to publish it, then we can go and publish it. Perfect. And successful, and that takes you right back to your approved content, and hey, there it is.
Love it. All right. So I know that we are coming up on our time today. I want to make sure that we still keep this at 30 minutes. So we'll head back to our little presentation. I think we only have one other thing left on here before we open it up for questions, and that is to mark your calendars for our next Cerkl U webinar. As you know, this is a monthly series, so our next webinar is going to be held on November 7th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes.
All right, so let's go ahead and start opening it up for questions. Again, we want this to be interactive. We want this to really help you guys, and we want to hear your feedback. This is what we value the most, is building this product for you guys and how you guys would like to see it continue and progress. So
yeah, and our emails are here if you have any questions beyond this webinar. So
absolutely.
so you can see these.
There we go. Yeah. All right, so we got 2 questions so far. Let's see. Number 1, how do we provide feedback for new user improvements? That's a great question. The easiest way for us to track it and for me to get it to Sam and the rest of the tech team is to have you send those through using our little chat bot. It's a little purple icon in the bottom right-hand corner of every Cerkl.com page. It's even on the back end of the platform, so when you're in as an admin, if you're playing around and you get stuck on something, or you're like, hey, this is kind of confusing to me, tell us, please. We really want to know that information. It's so valuable to us.
Even if it's not a question, even if it's just a suggestion, and you don't want a response, just leave a note and we'll see it.
Yep, absolutely. We log all of that. Those are all really important data points to us. So
next one. How can we get more involved in the inner circle?
Yeah, so this is something that we briefly touched on at the beginning of the webinar, but the Inner Cerkl is a group of our Cerkl advocates who are super interested in helping with the beta testing of some of these new features. So we would love for you to be a part of this. We have quite a few of our Inner Cerkl partners that are already using our beta platform and kind of testing for us. We set up meetings. What we try to say is we won't set up we won't contact you more than 2 times a month for your input. But please, if you are interested in that, reach out to me directly at Maddie@Cerkl.com, and I will be sure to get you all the information there. It's pretty informal, but we, again, would love your feedback at a higher level than just regular comments or suggestions.
And if intercom is like level 1, that's probably like level 5 of like direct access to us if you really want to touch and make an impact on this platform.
Absolutely. All right. So one more question. Will it be possible to see a search feature in the future for the unsubscribes, blocked, bounce pages? Great question. I know we currently have one for subscribers, but I was curious about the other pages. And Sam, this is something that you and I were playing around with Monday this week, wasn't it? So do you want to give a little insight as to?
Let me reread the question because I'm.
So
I get the base of it. Will it be possible to see a search feature in the future for unsubscribes?
So that's the audience.
An audience manager?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
so we were quite.
We're there.
Yeah, we quite literally were. He was designing it the other day, and we're going back and forth. He's like, "What about this?" I'm like, "Well, it's kind of confusing me." So we had that conversation on Monday, and I saw this beautiful mock-up. So yes, that will be coming with the audience manager. On the audience manager update. So. And
we're throwing around the idea of having that same search functionality on like Content Manager as well. So if you like that idea, and once we release this new one, if you want to see that across the platform, let us know. I personally think it makes a lot more sense, and I think everybody who's shown so far likes it a lot. It just is a simple click to see the page.
Yeah. Again, thank you guys for your time today. We will take any extra or any additional questions that we didn't get to on the webinar live. We will reach out to you specifically. Again, for joining us. Please don't be shy. We want to hear your feedback and hear how your experience is with Cerkl and the platform so far. So we hope to see you next month. Thanks, guys.
Bye.